Hi everyone, and welcome to our presentation on Grey Arrow Farm. I'm Alana, and I'm going to be presenting today with Shelby, Carla, Allison, and Matthew. So Grey Arrow Farm is a family-run farm based in Camrose. Dennis and Andrea bought the farm 5 years ago, and they run it along with their 5 children. Through the farm, they also run a community-supported agriculture program, which involves members of the community buying shares in the farm prior to the growing season. The farm then uses this money to buy seeds and supplies for growing the produce for the season. Then, once the produce is ready, you receive a bundle of produce each week. The farm has certain pickup locations where members go to pick up their produce. One location is at the farm, another is in Camrose, one is in Sherwood Park, and there's 3 pickup locations in Edmonton. They have different sizes to choose from too, so you can get enough for an individual or small or large family sizes. There is also an option to add on local beef, chicken, eggs, and honey. Last year they served 170 clients, and this year they are aiming for the same. There are many benefits to this program, including delicious fresh produce, incorporating more veggies into your diet, new flavors and varieties of veggies that you can't always find at the grocery store, knowing where and how it was grown and being connected to the farmer that grew it, supporting a local farmer and the local economy, and being part of a community passionate about good, fresh, and local food. So our project with Grey Arrow Farm was to come up with an alternative to the plastic bags that they currently use for their produce in the CSA program. They use plastic bags to package things like peas for convenience or for carrots to keep them fresh. The plastic alternatives had to be food-safe material, affordable, able to hold wet food for at least a week without breaking down, as well as it had to come in suitable sizes for the farm's needs, able to be composted in regular compost facilities via the green bins, and ideally would come from a Canadian company.
A quote from the book Organic Farming for Sustainable Culture says, "A general consensus exists that current farming practices are disrupting the natural cycles of nutrients and soil and are not sustainable and must be transformed." End quote. Finding ways to farm in a sustainable manner have become more important as the climate issue becomes more apparent. Organic farming offers a solution to this problem. It's sustainable and local. Being local encourages people to buy local. This financially supports the farm, which allows them to continue to farm and better the environment. Organic farming are also first steps to educating a society about sustainable food. Local farms are often offer times when you can go and visit to see how the farm is run. By doing this, those who buy from the farm can be educated on the practices of sustainable farming. On the other hand, those who don't know anything about such farming practices are able to learn and maybe develop an appreciation. It only takes a few people to start sharing with their friends and family to start a chain reaction for the value of local foods. The amount of single-use plastic can be a lot, even on an organic farm. Plastic is harmful since it breaks down into small pieces and can pollute the food chain. When growing food organically, the goal is to produce good food. However, during the process of farming and distributing the food, there is still a lot of plastic that is used. Plastic is very harmful to the environment, so finding ways to reduce that amount is a key step to running a sustainable farm. A challenge to finding solutions. An important part when finding a solution to plastic is understanding the difference between biodegradable and compostable. Both terms are often used interchangeably, which is incorrect. Biodegradable is defined as being able to be broken down into smaller pieces. However, technically anything is biodegradable. With the right amount of time and conditions, even the toughest plastic will eventually break down. There's no amount of time that a product has to degrade to be able to labeled as biodegradable. On the other hand, to be labeled as compostable, there are many criteria that must be met. These criteria include composting within a few months, not leaving behind any residue, and being made out of a natural substance. These standards give a meaning to the consumer, allowing them to make choices as to what they buy and understanding how products are labeled. Since plastic is a very useful tool to preserving food, it is hard to find a replacement that keeps food as fresh as plastic does. Some solutions when it comes to plastic are reusable containers. This is often a good idea in itself, but when it comes to practicality, it doesn't always work. Most people don't care or want to take the time to remember to bring reusable containers. Most want fast and convenient products. Due to this, when reusable containers are used, lots are still thrown away and lost. When many reusable containers are being thrown away, it takes away from sustainability that the product could offer.
Getting into the research that we did, we kind of had a few methods that we used. We kind of started with a base by using our past experiences and coming up with ideas this way. We kind of had these three main ideas of having reusables, paper bags, and compostable bags. And with these three main ideas, once we started researching into them, we kind of found some more specific ideas underneath these and different companies that made these products. So starting with reusable containers and bags, these posed a great idea, as they're often they can be used over many seasons, and they don't have an impact on the environment because they're being reused. The issue with this became present when the dishonesty of people and people keeping these containers, as they're very expensive to initially buy, and when people keep them, the farm has to keep buying new ones to replace them. The solution for this was using a deposit at the beginning of the season, and at the end of the season, when you gave all your containers back, that you would get your deposit back. This held up until you realize that some people just don't care, and these containers do end up wearing out, and you need to replace them, and it just becomes very expensive in the long run anyways. There was issues with keeping the vegetables fresh, as the Tupperware containers would need to be returned to the farm for the next weekend, or for the next week for packaging, and the client would not have any container to put them in at the pickup site. This led us to our next idea with paper bags. Paper bags are very compostable, and they break down easily. They also have good strength to them and can hold easily the 7 pounds that was needed. The issue became present when we realized that the farm, when they package their vegetables, they're often recently washed and dripping wet. Paper bags don't hold up to wet conditions, and this often is the start of their breakdown. The solution to this was lining these bags with wax. The wax creates a waterproof barrier of sorts that can withstand some moisture that was going to be produced by the vegetables. So this seemed to be a very plausible solution. The issue with the wax lining was that these bags were very expensive and would cost up to $1 per bag. And at 20,000 bags per season, as these would not be reusable, the cost would be over $20,000 every season for packaging, and this was just not economically feasible for the farm. This led us to the last category, which was the compostable bags. For the compostable bags, there was a few different companies that we looked into. Glassine Bags was one of the bigger ones. This company had their bags broke down in the backyard compost. They were very promising, but the issue with these bags was that they weren't available in large enough sizes. And the larger vegetables would not be contained within the smaller bags. The Ziploc bags that we can find on the grocery store shelf, the issue with these was that they're a large box store, and we didn't believe that was what our company wanted. And they also were very expensive at $20 for 100 bags. So this was not the best solution for the farm. This led us to our final company under the Compostable Bags, Refresh Packaging. And this kind of was our final solution.
The packaging that meets all the criteria that Gray Arrow Farm is looking for is called Refresh Packaging. One of the main objectives for the packaging is that it has to be food-safe material. The best solution available currently is compostable bioplastics. Refresh bags are corn-based, and the ink they use is soy-based, and this means that they are a natural renewable resource. This is crucial because this material will decompose the same manner as any organic material from the environment will. Another benefit is the affordability of the packaging. It is true that the convenience of plastic packaging is how cheap, lightweight, and adaptable the material is. However, Refresh also sells their products for a cheap price. Excuse me. Refresh Packaging offers 500 to 1,000 bags depending on the size for the cost of $60. Gray Arrow Farm usually spends around $150 per season for plastic packaging and was willing to spend around $600 maximum for the new bags. As we can tell, the price for these bags is between the budget. Also, compostable bags have a reputation to not to be very strong to begin with. However, these bags are more reliable than most traditional bags since they come from a different source material, giving them more elasticity. These bags are able to hold fresh vegetables for a good amount of time since they have the same characteristics as a plastic bag without the harmful material. They also offer specialized bags to store fruits and vegetables for long periods of time. Another aspect is that they also have a variety of sizes. They even have a catalog with all the specifications of each bag. They also make shopping bags, sealed product bags, t-shirt bags, trash liners, etc. Another crucial part is that it has to be decomposed in the green bins with the regular compost. Refresh packaging is certified compostable, and this means that it has been tested by the Biodegradable Product Institute. This institute tests a variety of products that are safe to compost and will not add any harmful chemicals to the environment. Their material has earned biodegradable BPI, ASTM, EN, and compost certification. And this indicates that third parties verify for its compostability, which allows buyers, sellers, and manufacturers to understand the impact of the packaging. These certification labels bring trust and satisfaction that the bags will break down during the composting process and will not have a negative impact of the compost quality. In order for products to get these certifications, they must go through some steps and testings that check for the formula and the compounds, and they also have to be tested in internal laboratories. Once the formula is approved, this must be submitted for physical testing, exposed to a regular municipal environment, decomposed in a specific time frame, and the remains have to be used as fertilizer. And lastly, Refresh is a Canadian company. It's located in Calgary, Alberta. This is one of the reasons why Refresh was chosen, because the production and transportation of these bags are closer than any other company. In order for them to manufacture these bags, there has to be a massive order, and therefore Gray Arrow can introduce other farms into buying a more sustainable packaging like Refresh and reduce plastic in other companies.
Okay, so approximately 100 million plastic grocery bags are used in North America alone each year. These bags are rarely recycled, which means the majority of them end up as litter in oceans or in landfills, which can lead to harmful consequences on the earth as well as on animals. So some potential next steps one could take with the newfound compostable bags made by Refresh Packaging is they could introduce them to local farms, either around Camrose or around different communities, and also introduce them to grocery stores like the Co-op or bigger companies such as Loblaw, which created stores such as Superstore and Shoppers Drug Mart. Introducing a refresh into these stores could be the beginning of a major shift from single-use plastic bags to compostable bags that would have a positive impact on our environment. And some future projects with Grey Arrow Farms is Dennis and Andrea are constantly searching for ways to make their CSA organic farm more sustainable. Some points that two brought up for future projects are they wish to find an alternative to till farming, which is churning up the dirt when they are digging their vegetables up. A problem with this is that it would take a significant amount of change and time. And another project Dennis and Andrea are willing to undertake in the near future is solar power, but this is also another major change that would take a lot of time and energy. And thanks for watching.